Okay, the score predictions are back now. Of course, last week all the fixtures were postponed in all of the leagues in England, but we're back now for midweek games in the EFL Championship. Of course, the Premier League will be back next week, but we've got to get the video out here for the midweek fixtures. Now, of course, we don't know what happens in the previous round of fixtures because they weren't played. So if predicting championship scores wasn't hard enough, it's going to be extra hard now. But let's just get straight into it with Blackburn Rovers against Watford, where Blackburn's last game on the 3rd of September, they lost to Bristol City 3-2, and Watford got a 1-1 draw with Rotherham United. Now, both teams had a fairly decent start to the season. I mean, I think Watford fans may have liked to have been a little bit higher, get a few wins instead of those draws. With Blackburn Rovers, for them, 8 games played, 4 wins, 4 losses. I think this one will end in a draw. I think Blackburn will pick up their first draw. It won't be Watford's first draw, but I'm going to go for a nice high-scoring 2-2 draw to start us off here. And then move on to Huddersfield Town against Wigan Athletic, where Huddersfield Town still doing really poorly. They're currently in 23rd place. Wigan Athletic climbing the table actually now. They're currently in 15th place after their victory over Luton. It was a very good victory over Luton Town there, 2-1, and Huddersfield Town still struggling, losing 1-0 to Blackpool. Of course, that game, I remember now, should have ended in a 1-1 draw because Huddersfield Town was robbed by the goal Hawkeye system. But in this one, I think it will be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1. It's pretty tight one to call because Wigan Athletic, they've had a really good start to the championship season, and Huddersfield Town, as I said, not doing the greatest, 23rd place. I mean, they were 3rd place last season, and yeah, they lost the manager, they lost quite a few quality players, but I expect them to pick up something from this game, so I'll just go for the 1-1 draw in this one. And then next up is Hull City against Stoke City, where I think I have to pick up. I have to go for another draw. I mean, Stoke City won this fixture 2-0 last time these two sides faced, I do believe. I think Stoke City's actually got a really good record against Hull City, but just in recent form, Stoke City not been the greatest. Hull City, I suppose you can say the past few games haven't been the greats. 2-0 defeat to Sheffield United and 3-1 defeat to QPR. But Hull City did have a good start. I think they'll pick up something from the game. I'll go 1-1. And then next up is Middlesbrough against Cardiff City, where Middlesbrough, I think, may be slowly getting into the season. They had a really bad start. Cardiff City, their past few games haven't been the best. I'll back both sides to the score, but I think Middlesbrough will pick up all 3 points in this one, and I will go for a 2-1 victory. It was a 2-0 victory to Middlesbrough last time these two sides faced, so I think they should be able to win this one. And then it's on to deep down now for a Lancashire derby. Not one of the main ones, but it's still quite a big occasion. Preston North End against Burnley, where, well, Preston North End, they did lose their first game and concede their first goal. Last week. Of course, to Birmingham City, and Burnley got 1-1 draw with West Brom. That late equaliser by West Bromwich Albion last Friday. That one. 8 days ago on Friday. This one, the favourites for this are Burnley, and I suppose I can see that, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a score draw. Not what we're used to over the past recent games with all of our 0-0 results, but I think it will be a score draw, and I think both sides will score because just the occasion, Lancashire derby, I think both sides will score. So I'll say both sides to pick up a point, but hopefully we can win this one. Next up is Swansea against Sheffield United. Sheffield United have had a really good start to the season. Beat Hull City 2-0 in their last game. Swansea actually had a pretty good game, beating QPR 1-0 in their last game as well. But I do expect Sheffield United to win this one, and I'm going to say I'll say 2-0 away victory for the Blades in this one. Push them further up the table. Sheffield United's in for a really good season. And yeah, we'll move on now to Luton Town against Coventry City, where, of course, it wasn't really for Coventry City, the greatest idea to postpone the fixtures, seeing that they have already got 3 games in hand, and they need to get some catching up. Don't know when all the fixtures will be rearranged to for Coventry City, but this one's happening on Wednesday. Luton Town against Coventry City. Pretty tough place to go, Kenilworth Road, and with Coventry City's past form, I do think they'll struggle. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Luton Town in this one, and then we've got Millwall coming up against Queen's Park Rangers, where it was a 1-0 victory to Queen's Park Rangers actually last time these two sides faced, but at the Den, it's a really tough place to go, and well, Millwall picked up a few defeats so far this season. I'll say it'll end in a draw, 1-1. Both sides, I'm going to back a draw in this one. This one's really tough because Millwall haven't been the greatest this season, and Queen's Park Rangers, I suppose, they've had a fairly decent start. There's been a few results that they would have loved. Obviously, everyone would love 3 points, but there's games that they've gone into that they really should have picked up all 3 points, and they've either come away with one or none. But I'll go for a point apiece in that one. Norwich City against Bristol City. I think Norwich City will continue their run. Of course, Norwich City were supposed to be playing Burnley last night, and I did back Burnley to win that one, actually, with Norwich City's run ending. But now that they're against Bristol City in this one, and the Burnley's still going to be rearranged, I'm going to back Norwich City now to continue their amazing run. Bristol City have had a really good run as well, and they score goals as well. They also concede quite a few as well, but on average, they're 2 goals per game. I think they'll score. They will score, but I think Norwich City will just be a bit too strong for them, and they'll pick up all 3 points in this one and continue their amazing run. So 2-1 to Norwich City in this one. And then next up is Rotherham United against Blackpool. Rotherham United, another team that's done fairly well, obviously coming up from League One alongside with Wigan, but mainly picked up draws, a bit like us this season, against the Blackpool side that, haven't really been that impressive. I know I am trying to be as fair as possible here, but I do think Rotherham United will win this one, and I'll back both sides to score 2-1. But yeah, I don't think Blackpool will be able to pick up anything from this game. Again, they got away with one, beating Huddersfield Town 1-0 in their last game, where should have been a 1-1 draw. There's been some pretty poor performances by Blackpool, and against a Rotherham side who no one, I don't think, expected them to be this good this season, but they've done well. So I think they'll pick up all 3 points in this one. And then another team that has surprised quite a few people, Reading against Sunderland in this one. Look, normally I will probably back Sunderland in this game, but just past performances by Reading, I'm going to have to pick them for a narrow 1-0 victory in this one. It was obviously, these two sides haven't faced each other in quite some time because Sunderland's been down in League One. So it will be interesting to see how this game turns out. I mean, Sunderland were always a team that I was excited for, to see how well they would do, because loads of people were backing them to do well. I mean, I thought they would do pretty decently, and yeah, we can see a little bit of a pattern going on here: win, loss, win, loss, win. If we're going off the pattern, then really Sunderland are due a win next. But Sunderland have done, fairly decently. I didn't think that they would do, superbly well, but enough to survive and finish mid-table. I think I had them down for 15th place to finish this season, but they've done well so far. But Reading have completely shocked loads of people this season, and I'm going to back them to pick up all 3 points in this one. And then next up is West Bromwich Albion against Birmingham City. West Brom, again, bit like us, picking up all the draws, having all the chances, just not scoring them. Of course, got that very late equaliser, like 8th minute of added extra time in the 1-1 draw with Burnley. Birmingham City not had the greatest of runs. Of course, they did pick up a victory against Preston North End in the last game. Obvious, isn't it? I think Birmingham will win this one, and I'm going to go 2-0. Nice, comfortable victory for the Baggies in this one. All the chances that they are creating, and they'll be able to finish some in this game against the Birmingham City side that's still struggling. But I was impressed with Birmingham's supports when they did come to Deepdale. Very, very good. But I don't think they'll pick up anything from this one, and that will wrap up my Championship Game Week 10 predictions. Even though we didn't play Game Week 9, rearranged fixtures. So yeah, Game Week 10. So yeah, I will see you all probably next time in my Premier League score predictions, which will be out on Monday probably for next week, for next Saturday round of fixtures. So yeah, I'll see you all then. Bye.